Hi guys, Minnie here and welcome to Planetbase. This is a colony survival simulator. So you're basically dropped off on a desert planet. In this case, there's 3 planets you can choose from. I've played a bit. This world is hard as hell. This one's a little bit harder. We're going to start the easy route, Class D. So you're basically dropped off on a desert planet and you pick your landing location and then you go from there. I have no idea what this is going to look like. So, I'm a big-time fan of Homeworld, so we're going to call this planet base Kharak. Let's do it. So you basically dropped off on the planet, you have a lander, you have to build survival buildings and energy gathering and resource gathering, and yeah, here we go. Looks like I got some area to build back here. I'll back in here after we remove these rocks, and my little dudes are gonna come out. Come on, guys, hurry up. Hurry up! And that explosion you heard was an asteroid. They like to come down and hit things randomly. Like assholes. So you get 3 workers, 2 biologists, 1 engineer, 1 medic, a carrier bot, and a constructor bot. So first thing we're going to do is delete the colony ship because we get a few more resources. We're going to take a look at around, see our building area. Ooh, yes, that's a nice big open area. That's nice. I like that. And then we have another slightly open area back there. So my guess is that we're probably going to be building this way and then expanding into this gap. First things first, I want a large power collector. We're going to set this up right here. After that, I'm going to do a size 2 solar panel. So we have some decent amount of energy. I'm pretty sure later on I will get rid of it. And pretty much everyone will pick up stuff and move it. Okay, next thing I'm going to want is an oxygen generator. We're going to stick that with a size 2 directly across from the power collector. Then we're going to wait till the oxygen generator is built. You can delete these notifications just by right-clicking on them. Next, external structure, let's go for a water collector. We're going to stick that directly next to the power collector. We're also going to build a maximum size windmill. We're going to need this later on. Pretty much this is max size equipment right here. These are the largest you can get other than getting like experimental tech from people coming through. So now that we've built the oxygen generator, we've unlocked some more stuff. So the next thing we're going to throw down is a small processing plant, and we're going to point this towards the mountain basically. And we're going to connect that. Then we're going to add an airlock. Right about. So I can build a few mines here, so that'll be our mining area. Hello, asteroid. So I'll put our airlock there. So colonists get thirsty, they get hungry, they get sleepy. So basically we have power taken care of. We've got enough power coming in during the day and the wind generator for the nighttime. So we're good power-wise. We're also good water-wise. This will give us, I think, 10 water total maximum. It fluctuates anywhere from 5 to 10. We are next going to want a canteen because our colonists get hungry and they also get thirsty. So that will give us food, and I'm going to stick this here. Actually, no. I'm going to put canteen over on this side. We're going to connect that directly to the oxygen generator. These are high traffic areas. A lot of colonists come in here, and you want a direct connection to the oxygen. Next, we're going to want a dorm so our little dudes can get some shut-eye. Find a nice location for this. Sometimes you have to fight with the placement option, so that'll work for now. We have oxygen being produced. It's red just because it's like filling up. So I'm going to hit tab and turn off the overstructure. There we go. Let's see, what's next? What's next? We are going to build... we're going to build a biodome. We're going to build the biggest one we can. We're going to connect it directly to our processing facility. And it'll also be nearby to the canteen. The biggest biodome makes this a core structure, just like the oxygen generator and your first canteen, but I'm going to see if I can build in such a way that smaller structures I can eventually get rid of to recycle them and get better stuff. Okay, so we're going to need a mine because no metal is pretty much a way for our guys to die. We don't want our guys to die. So with this we have a place for our guys to eat, we have a place for guys to sleep, we have a place for our guys to get metal, which we're going to put down a one metal processor there. And in here we're only going to put down just a couple plants just to get us started, and we're going to start with wheat and tomatoes. Tomatoes are produced relatively quickly, and wheat is slow, but it gives you a lot of starch. One is high, one is low, so it kind of balances in between. And wheat and tomatoes give you pasta, I think is the recipe. So we're going to throw down table. Hello, asteroid. A water fountain, because they do get thirsty. And a meal maker. No, I'm not going to build anything in between here, so we're going to throw down one of the televisions so they can watch some Planetbase news. And we're going to throw down 2 belts. So they're going to... Normally when you build stuff, internal stuff always takes priority. So if you have external build jobs going, they will favor stuff that is inside to be built first. So this takes 2 bioplastic, that takes 1 bioplastic, that takes 1, that takes 1, that takes 1, that takes 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 metal for the metal processor. I'm going to go ahead and speed up time just a little bit. You see that one of my guys has an O2 thing above his head, which means that he's going to need oxygen relatively soon. And, or she, rather. After they get inside, their O2 will go up, and after they eat, since we don't have the stuff in the canteen, they're just going to sit down on the ground, which makes them a little bit unhappy, which is unfortunate. I wouldn't like to sit on the ground and eat. And this guy's sitting in the canteen on the ground and eating. Good job, Fritz. So everyone's water is getting low. So it should be by just about the time they finish this. We're waiting on 2 bioplastic. But they're yellow water. They're going to be okay for the time being. We're going to go ahead and set the mine to not mine at the moment. If you hit Alt, you can cycle to your resource overview. This will tell you how many resources you have available. Keep in mind, watch our metal and our bioplastics. That's going to go down as this dome is being built, as those resources are consumed. Resources are not consumed until a structure is built. So if you change your mind, you don't actually lose those resources before someone actually starts working on it. And the only time you lose resources by recycling buildings is on connectors. You'll lose bioplastic and metal anytime you build something like that. So we've got our meal maker and our water fountain and all that stuff. Are you going to take a drink, Zach? Come on, Zach. Take a drink. Now they're sleepy and thirsty, but we have 2 beds. That's enough for 4 colonists. And we have 7 colonists total. Next thing I'm going to get started is wheat and tomatoes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, I'm going to change that. We're going to do 4 and 2. I'm going to do tomatoes on this side. So how many biologists do we have? I hit F2 to get to this menu. We have 2 biologists. Biologists can handle about 3 plants each on average. So that's 3 for one guy and 3 for the other guy. And they'll kind of back each other up. And this is just to get some vegetables and stuff started. So we're not really doing very much at the moment. What we're going to do too is turn on the mine. And we're also going to build a water tank. Now, water tanks are important. They basically look like the power collector batteries to store water. So I'm going to throw a water tank as close to the rock of wall as I can get it. There we go. That'll give us some storage for water in case we have a severe water shortage, because this is generating 6.47 and it's fluctuating. It's going down right now. So water fluctuates, power from wind turbines fluctuates. If you hit F4, you can see your power needs, and you see we're not producing enough power, and that's where the power collector comes in handy. Oxygen, this tells me how many people I can support. I can currently support 7, and I have room for 30. And water storage is going up now that I've built that tank. So we currently have 4 metal. And basically the next thing we're going to be building is definitely going to be a med bay. What happens is, as your workers work in the mines, they get injured just from the process of mining. Like a rock falls on them, or they pointed the drill the wrong way, or they misstepped and hurt their leg, something along those lines. So we're going to attach the med bay directly to the processing facility, so as soon as someone comes in from the outside and if they're injured, we can get them to the med bay. Now the med bay is still going to need at least 1 bed, so that we can actually put someone into it. And as soon as this connector is built, then I'll be throwing down a bed. You can see we're getting some tomato vegetables being produced. The wheat plants take a little bit longer to produce resources, but you do get bioplastic. You'll basically get 2 veggies in a bioplastic normally. Let's see. Yeah, I got a bioplastic. It's like a 30% chance, depending on what you're producing. Some of these will only produce food. Some of these will produce food and starch. And we're gonna set this as a high priority building. That way they're like, hey, this needs to be done first before anything else. So we've got our canteen here. We've got our our large biodome, very large biodome. The next thing I'm going to want is some basic storage. Just a small one. I'm going to throw that over here next to the mountain, so it's out of the way. And you can see when I threw down this, all those rocks were removed. You can actually sort of terraform the ground in certain areas to get around structures you're normally not able to by playing around with how you're able to place structures. It's a little bit cheaty, but it works. We're still running in ×4 speed, so that's enough for that storage bay. So that'll mean that they can start bringing in all these supplies from outside and inside. So it looks like we're only down to 4 bioplastic, 3 of which is going to be used in the construction of that. So the next thing we're going to build on the inside is going to be a bioplastic processor, which we're going to place on this side, close to the biodome. A bioplastic is also used for, well, internal structures like beds and stuff, like the one I'm about to build now. Bioplastic is also needed for, let's see, medical equipment. It's needed for robots. It's needed for a lot of stuff. You don't just rely on metal. You have to use bioplastic as well. Now, you also use metal to generate spare parts. Spare parts you use to repair your power production stuff. At the moment, since all these structures are brand new, they're still at excellent level. But something that I'm definitely going to be worried about later on, something I'm definitely going to be worried about later on is making a factory to produce spare parts. Spare parts is definitely one of the first things you want to make, besides medical, medical supplies. And you use that from medicinal plants. Now, I don't have any medicinal plants yet, and these guys are still having trouble with a few of these. So, I have 7 people. Now, the only thing I'm waiting on right now is for this to get built, which is done now. And then after that, I'm going to need an external structure. This external structure is a landing pad. Now, I could have left myself a few more resources to be able to do this a little bit better, but for the time being, I am strapped for metal. Now, luckily, the launch pad only takes metal. It's going to be 5 metal for the small launch pad. But another thing I'm definitely going to need is some more bioplastic, because I want to put another airlock on this side. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because pretty much I only want this airlock to be used for transferring stuff in between our mine and our mines. I want to build an airlock off of this structure here, and we'll put the landing pad around right there. So let's go ahead and place that down first, because I'd rather have room for that than kind of, you know, guess where it's going to go. Actually, no, let's get rid of that. Let's do an airlock first. Let's do it this way. And connect that there. So that's 2 metal and 2 bioplastic. And we are going to go for a landing pad. Will that fit in here? Hey, what do you know? It won't fit. I want it there, so I'm going to delete that again. Nope, wrong one. Let's go airlock. There we go. So I know it was placed there because of that little dark spot, so I'm going to put this over here a little bit more and see if I can fit in that launch pad in that open area. Yeah, there we go. We'll do a connection right there. So I've got our launch pad and our little airlock there. So that way, when colony ships land, they'll land here, and then our colonists will come in this way. And it also helps if we have to build something on this side of the base, so our guys don't have to come out here and come all the way around to get to the other side of the base. And I'm pretty sure we're going to be expanding this direction somewhat, and definitely this direction over here. Mostly this direction for power needs and stuff. After the launch pad and the airlock are built, I do want to get a laboratory up and running, so that way my medic has something to do with all that delicious bioplastic we're producing. I'm going to go ahead and throw in one medicinal pad right here on this side. That way we have at least some medicinal plants coming in to where when we're ready to start making more medical supplies, that we'll have that available. It looks like one of my robots has stopped working. He's in very poor condition. He is knocked out. Our storage is low, but our solar panel is going to take care of that. So that definitely means that we're going to need to boost up our power production. Anytime you get warnings like that, you're definitely going to have to pay attention to it. I am going... Well, I'm going to see how this power collector does for the time being. Wait, didn't I want to build storage here and then... Oh wait, I have storage. Never mind. Hey, what if I just... Yeah, let's do that. You guys pick that stuff up, bring it back inside. I'm going to build an airlock here. Like so. And then I'm going to build a launch pad, or landing pad. Launch pad. I'm thinking of Kerbal Space Program. There, that's a little bit better. Sweet. And they can just move those resources from there over to this. Hey, if they're smart, they'll finish that airlock first. Come on, take that metal over to the airlock, please. You take it to the airlock? Yay! Good robot. Looks like my engineer fixed the other little dude. So this is just waiting on an engineer or constructor robot right now. And then we're waiting on 4 metal. Oh, that was close. Anytime you build structures, it takes them a little bit of time for the oxygen to fill in. Alright, I think we'll go ahead and call this an episode. We definitely have power storage issues, and I hope that's not going to be a problem. But it is daytime. We're cutting it real close. We'll definitely have to solve that in the next episode. But until then, I'll see you in the next episode. And Elik, you are an asshole for interrupting me while I'm recording. Anyway, we'll see you guys in the next episode of Planetbase. If you like the video, please do like the video. And let me know if you'd like to see more. And we'll see you guys the next episode. This is Minnie, signing out.